What up? We are early, right? By my calculation, I am quite early. In fact, I am crazy early. The topic of the main, well, the thumbnail says, what are they going to make up today? That is the big question, because it does seem like no matter what happens, there's a new piece of news coming out for Xbox. Whether it's shutting down or it's going out of business or, you know, there's always something, and they'll make up everything as they go along. Have you noticed how not a single one now is chiming out that all these stores are closing Xbox down? It's gone dead silent. It's gone dead silent. It's gone dead silent. But how's everyone doing? I know today's going to be a bit of a light one because there really isn't much going on. And for those of you that jumped into Fonz's stream yesterday, it was a bit of an interesting one with Tim Dog yesterday. It was a tale of two affairs. You had the chat. If anyone was there yesterday, it was quite funny. You had the chat, which was absolutely ripping him to shreds, and then you had Fonz trying to keep it civil. It was interesting. Nah, Heatwave. They want to put their games everywhere, not just PC. And if that was the case, they wouldn't be making a new console, right? That they've already admitted to making. And they didn't just say one console. It looks like they're going to be making future generations of consoles, as they refer to. Obviously, plans can change, but right now, there is a new console coming. Hey, Big B Money. How's it going? So, Outer Worlds is not... Okay, he got messed up. Outer Worlds is coming not too long away now, right? Anyone excited for Outer Worlds? Performing really badly on Battlefield? What I thought was really interesting with Battlefield 6, it's I think I've actually got a news piece for it, but don't really need to show that. But once you finish the campaign, it gives you an uninstall button for the campaign, so you can just get rid of the campaign easily without having any issues whatsoever. I thought that was actually quite good. As you can see here, Battlefield 6 presents players with a campaign uninstall button after they beat it. Tells them it'll save space. So once you've beat it, if you've got no interest in 100%ing it, or after you 100% it, you can just safely remove it. I have not yet played Kronos. I'm planning on trying it out during Halloween. So not too long now. I mean, Heatwave, it can be both, right? There could be something that we just never seen before. Tales of Exilia Remastered? I never got into the Tales games. I don't know what it was. Something always... I mean, I've always wanted to play Tales of Arise, but I never really got into it. I never really got around to it. Just too many RPGs to play. And you know me with my stop-start. Dead Space I enjoyed, Callisto I didn't play. The developers wanted to be smart and cunning and stupid, so I said they can do what they want with their game. I won't go next to it. And so I didn't. Because that's how I am. I don't know. I'm thinking Ninja Gaiden could possibly hit anywhere between an 88 and a 90. That's going to be an interesting one, Heatwave. If GTA will be enough to get people to upgrade. Honestly, I don't think it will. I don't think it will, Heatwave. You're essentially asking people to spend £1,000 to play Grand Theft Auto. I don't think they will. With the way the prices are right now, I just cannot see people spending £700, £800, 900 quid to play the game. GTA will probably cost $99.99 out the box for the basic edition. And with the consoles at what, 500-600 quid? I don't see it. I don't see it, not for one game. If they haven't upgraded now, they'll wait for next gen. But yeah, man, Heatwave in the US, it's gonna be mad expensive. Mad expensive. So did you hear about the new Battlefield 6 woke complaints? I can't believe it. It's insane. Yeah, that's across 3 generations. It's still a lot of copies, don't get me wrong. But if you think that everyone is going to pay 700 quid for one game, it's not going to happen. That's fair, Heatwave. Right. I can appreciate that. Did anyone see that new Xbox ad? Well, it's not sponsored, but someone from Australia, I think. Yeah, made a homebrew X. This is an Xbox ad, and they didn't show a single Xbox. I thought that was quite funny. I don't underestimate the pull of GTA, my dude. If the average person in the UK couldn't upgrade by now from a PS4 to a PS5, or an Xbox One to a Series X, they're not gonna do it then. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Hey man, that's a great value for a Series X. $200 is great value. Ghosty, they force you to play as a female character, as Dagger, and because they force you to play as Dagger, it's woke. How dare they make you play as a female character? But you know, they make you play as a female character instead of Blade. That's not woke. Near Automata, that's not woke. But in Battlefield, it's woke. And so, Ghosty, what happens if Microsoft gets a deal where if they buy it, they can play it on xCloud? I mean, that would be a big get for Microsoft, naturally. But if they could, then what reason would they have to upgrade? But I really need a new headset. Just not Turtle Beach. The last Turtle Beach I got was the biggest mistake ever. Never touching Turtle Beach again. Was it Gecko? I wasn't paying much attention. I was just paying attention to the B.O.B. pew pew pew. I know, right? Clearly, when I'm playing my gacha games, I don't play with any female characters, right? All the characters I play with are dudes and stuff, right? You've all seen it on the Mondays and Wednesdays. Not a single waifu in sight. Oh, send that to me on Discord, pal. I like his videos. Those ones are short and funny. What do you mean, liar? Hey, Yatazak, how's it going? My Xbox Series P, dude. To push Cloud Ghosty, you'd be surprised what they'd do. Alright. I have to ask you guys though. Because I saw this just before going live. And I want to know which one of you is going to be doing this. Come on. Own up. Own up. I've already got my waifu, so I'm good. I'm already exempt from this. Which one of you is going to be doing this? Come on. Own up. Oh, this is going to be good. Come on. Sam says ChatGPT will soon sext with verified adults. My God, Stephen David. Okay, so Yatazek already put his name in the ring. Obviously. Age verification's already with Xbox. Hey, buddy, what's up? What do you need? For GeForce Now. A horse. What is he playing? Wait, I've asked that question to your mum, and I asked it to you, and both of you don't know what he's playing. But he wants access to my horse now. I got a lot of passwords. I got a lot of passwords. I can't see it. Can you see it? I can't see it. I can't see it. Bye.
Bye.
You want to do my dailies when I'm streaming? What do you think? Just Woowa and Genshin. No, don't touch Woowa. Because you might trigger the story. You see, folks, this is why you have minions. Mandalorian, I'm alright, dude. It's been up and down, but it's been good. It's been good. So, how's Young been, Mandalorian? How's Mini Yoda? Alright, so shall we watch this Skeletor reveals? Let's do it. Let's check it out. Let's have a look. Because this is just funny. And like I said, news is quite light today.
We here at...
No, thanks. Alright. Alright, let's check it out. Hopefully it's not too loud. Skeletor CEO. Oh, God. Okay, let's go. By the way, in case you guys haven't noticed, Bullets-Kill is a new moderator for me now. Make him welcome. He has the power of Thor, the hammer of Mjolnir. He will wreak havoc if he needs to. All right, here we go.
Microsoft believe that life is full of surprises, like kittens, birthday parties, and finding your missing underage girlfriend's decomposing corpse in the back of your Tesla. You know, the little things. And speaking of little things, we're here today to show you how little of a fuck we give about you. Because we're about to announce something you've all been waiting for.
Is it Halo?
No, it's not Halo, no. This is even better. It's time to shit in our hands and clap because we're increasing the cost of the Xbox Game Pass by 50%!
Yes!
What? Oh my God, it's what we want!
Come in my ass, Microsoft.
Yes, we're really Kurt Cobaining the only good thing we've got over our competition. The new Xbox Game Pass will launch with incredible tiers, such as the brand new Xbox Game Pass Willy Dribble and Cum Glaze. But if you're a real gamer, and not a fucking pussy, you'll need the Ultimate version. And when you downgrade to Ultimate, you'll receive a list of perks that's somehow less than nothing, with access to things such as Ubisoft Plus Classic, EA Play, and even Fortnite Crew. Wow, that's less than P. Diddy's sentence. You can absolutely trust me to gaslight you all into thinking that this is somehow good news. You can trust me, I'm cool. I mean, look at this picture of me with puppies, flowers, and shit. Fuck. Well, you get the idea. We've received a wider range of feedback from our shareholders on how we can exploit you with 360 nostalgia. So we've decided to make our Game Pass $360 a year.
I'm so fucking horny.
We're doing this out of love, and not because we lost $300 million putting Black Ops 6 on the Game Pass. Now you might say, but wait a minute, you made more than the GDP of Andorra with the Game Pass last year. 300 million in comparison isn't even a tiddlywink of cum in a porn star's cum shot. And to those fans we say, have you ever tried shutting the fuck up? The future of Xbox, much like a child with spina bifida playing Twister, doesn't stand a fucking chance. For some reason, we've decided to shoot ourselves in the foot and fuck over our fan base like they're in the back of the Bonnie Blue Bang Bus. And many of you would say that you've just handed the console wars to Sony by doing this. But remember, you can't lose a console war if you never even turned up in the first place. Xbox, this is how we die now. There's nothing that can stop Microsoft from killing the very memory of Xbox gaming. Hey! Fuck's sake, what? You have forgotten about the prophecy.
The prophecy. Yeah, I heard about the prophecy too. Yeah.
Shocked noises.
What? What are you babbling about? The mythical prophecy of legend prophecy.
The prophecy. Oh my God, he's the
I am
prophecy.
scared of women.
Well, that's bullshit. There's nothing in this episode's script about a Oh, wait a minute. No, there it is.
Oh wow, it does say that. And also, we're in this episode for some reason.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
The prophecy states that there is a chosen one who has consumed the most Mountain Dew and Doritos and has ascended to the highest form of being, the world's strongest gamer, and he will fuck you. What? Hold up, what the fuck? And he will vanquish the evil of these lands. Impossible. I am the world's strongest gamer. There is no one who has consumed more Mountain Dew and Doritos than me. There is one. Who?
No way. Oh my! You gotta be kidding me.
No!
Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing up there on stage?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Chief, let's talk this out. If it wasn't meant to be...
You know, this is a weird time to ask this, but do you think he's ever gonna make that Verity guide?
Probably not. I don't even think he plays Destiny anymore. Should we help him? Or
Oh, no, he's fine. He's fine.
Oh man, that was great. That was great. That was absolutely brilliant. Oh, that was good. I love this. I love this guy's content. I'll put a link in the chat so you guys can mate, Halo is the only game, in my opinion, that can revitalize Halo Xbox's brand. And it has to be exclusive, and it's not going to be exclusive. It's the only game, in my opinion, that can really revitalize the Xbox brand and bring it to the forefront. And it has to be like a gangbuster 10 out of 10 game, and it has to be exclusive. Fable is niche. Fable, in my opinion, is a niche game. Halo is way more mainstream. Fable will do well, but Halo is Halo made Xbox. When you think of Xbox, you think of Halo. It's that simple. Halo is synonym to Xbox. They're one and the same. But that was good. I feel like Fable is gonna come and go and no one's gonna care. Honestly. I feel like Fable is going to come, no one's going to care, and it's gonna move on. And I know people are gonna say that I'm being crazy about this, but I don't know, man. I see no excitement for that game at all. But if they showed a kick-ass trailer for Halo, doing exactly what it needs to be doing, Okay, when I say no one, you know what I mean. It's a niche product. Zenithzone 0 2.4 tomorrow? Nice. Withering Waves just got their update a few days ago. 7, I think, well, 6-hour update? Crazy. Oh, if it's like Infinite's launch, that's a wet noodle. Right? That's literally a wet noodle. I mean, it didn't launch. They delayed it by a year. I can see Elder Scrolls 6 being a timed exclusive. Fallout 5 I can see being a timed exclusive, maybe. But then they might go down the route of it's been on the platform, so we're going to release it everywhere same time. But I think that would just take longer for them to develop. Mate, Craig was legendary. Who was it that actually named him Craig? I swear it was something like Pizza Hut or something, right? Halo needs to be Halo again? Absolutely. God, man, Craig became famous overnight. He became an internet sensation. That was truly something special. What a time to be alive, huh? Although I did like what he did in order to prey on the nostalgia of the Xbox 360, making them charge you $360. I never put those two together. I didn't. But I bet there is someone in Microsoft who actually said that. I bet you that there is someone in Microsoft that turned around and said, let's prey on their nostalgia and put it at 360. Someone must have said that. Lucia? Bubbly Goat Girl? Damn. Damn. But does she have anything on Lauma? That's the question. Devastator. Yeah, Woodpit. I've heard the same too. We're getting a Fable update in the Dev Direct. So, Fable seems to still be on the cards. Did I play Star Trek Voyager? No. Yesterday I came off the game. Didn't do much. And then today, I actually had work. Like a lot of work. I actually ended up finishing like an hour late today. So, no, I haven't had a chance. I've downloaded it, and there was another thing I downloaded as well. There was 2 games I downloaded from the Summer Games Fest. Let me see. Steam might load up one day. I believe in you, Steam. Load up. Come on. Steam Indie Fest. You can do it. You can do it. I downloaded Reanimal demo and the Voyager demo. Didn't really see anything else there that was interesting. Alright, so what do you think of this? This actually annoyed me. Personally, my opinion, this annoys me like a lot. But I want to know what your opinions are. So they released a new game plus of this. And the biggest edition is New Game Plus, which allows players to carry over adventure books, unspent points, yada yada yada. What's more, completing the game again in this mode will unlock a brand new ending after credits. Like, that just takes the piss for me. I don't know why. I just feel like it takes the piss. There's absolutely no reason to do that. And though I haven't seen the actual the ending, I've heard it's not even all that. It doesn't add anything. But here is the Machine Games anniversary update. No man, blood, you're allowed. Still love this game. No sound? Of course there's no sound. Let's rewind that so you can see it again.
Here we go.
This year, Machine Games celebrates our 15th anniversary. This is a huge milestone for us, and to celebrate, we're sharing gifts with all Indiana Jones and the Great Circle players. This is a free update and will be available on October the 10th on Xbox, Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5. We've been paying close attention to what you've been asking for, and this update will address 3 of your biggest requests.
Don't you want to know what this is all about?
You're damn right I do.
UGame Plus lets you enjoy the game from the beginning, but with all your collected and unlocked adventure books still available to you. And with the release of the DLC, The Order of Giants, now's the perfect time to replay the story.
I can't believe you dare to investigate this.
To top it all off, you'll discover a brand new ending sequence following the credits.
Impressive.
We've had many fans asking us why Indy would wear his famous leather jacket in the blistering heat of Giza. That's why we've added a new Indy outfit for all players, modeled after his iconic jacket-free look in Cairo in Raiders of the Lost
This
Ark.
is the one
Hello,
with
guy.
it.
We'll have more outfits on the horizon, so keep an eye out for them over the coming months. Many of you have wished for the ability to mix and match voice and text languages. Now you can choose from any of the 9 voice languages and the 14 text languages available in any combination that you like.
What I'd like to do is put the guns down.
Adelante. Le partiré los dientes.
You can learn more about the Machine Games anniversary update here, including a full list of all the smaller changes coming in the update. Thank you all for helping us make the last 15 years so memorable. We look forward to the next 15.
I guess the only benefit I can think of is that, you know, because I've 100%ed the game, I don't have to look for collectibles. I can literally just run the linear path. So the game should be way smaller than it normally is. Shorter, I mean. Because when I first played it, I was checking everywhere for secrets and stuff. So the second playthrough, if you're just going through the critical path and ignoring everything else, because there's no more secrets to find, right? You've collected everything. Then in theory, it should be shorter, maybe 6-7 hours, maybe 8 hours tops. But still, I don't like the fact that they've hidden a new cutscene, new ending. Yeah, I mean, I just don't like replaying games in general. I just want to play a game, get the ending, I'm happy, I move on. But I really am an Indiana Jones fan, and I don't like the fact that I'm probably going to have to go back and replay this at some point just to get the ending. Is there even any, like, achievements for it? Did they add any achievements to the whole thing? I'm just having a look. Man, why does this app have an update every single day? Like, it updates every single day. It's crazy. But you know what I mean? It's like, shouldn't have this many updates every time I go to use the app. There's an update. I mean, it's a free update. The game is a free update. If there's no achievements, I'm just gonna watch the thing. I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube. I think I've got too many games to play. I'm playing Tactics at the moment. I've got like 10, 15 games on the go at the moment. Let's have a look. Indiana Jones. It's not even in my history. Nope, not in my history. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Nope, there's no additional achievements. 1,250 gamer score at a 1,250. 55 out of 55. Time played 3 days, 5 hours and 24 minutes. It's 100% the whole thing. Susanna, you are a special one. But yeah, you literally, like you say, Woodpit, you literally just be blitzing through it, right? You're not really going to be a thing. So some great news from Battlefield Intel, and I think they should send that data over to PlayStation and Xbox and have these people, you know, system banned from being able to do anything. But let's see if they do it. So I don't know if a lot of you have heard of something called a Cronus. Not Kronos the game. It used to be called Cronus Max, and then they released their new one called Cronus Zen. It's a console adapter that you use that its original design was to allow you to use any controller you wanted on any device. So if you was on your PlayStation or your Xbox, you could use your Dreamcast controller if you wanted to, or your Sega Saturn controller. It had the best D-pad for fighting games, hands down. Why on earth would they use Cronus on NBA 2K? That doesn't even make sense. There's always ways around it. There's always ways around it. Punished because it's a script, and the script just changes the ID. It's really hard, but they can detect it. And so, Cronus Zen activity on this account has violated EA's user agreement. We have permanently blocked access to this product. Wah, wah, wah. And so, I was very, very happy about this, and I think they should go one step further, and anyone using them should just have their machines completely banned from anything that's live related. And apparently, almost 50 people agree with me. Oh, we might have an angry person here. Oh, well said. Okay. But yes, because Cronus ruined PvP on the Division 2. On Division 1, sorry. For those of you that don't know what Cronus can do, it can remove all recoil from your weapon entirely. So you can just literally just press the shoot button and it will never move. It can increase your rate of fire. So for semi-auto shotguns, you can empty the whole cartridge in under a second. MP5's fire rate can go down to like 0.1 second for the whole cartridge. You can have it so it can track your hit characters on screen through auto aim. Super sticky. It does so much crap. You can have it so it aims for their heads like aimbot. It's not as good as aimbot, but the script basically is damn good at what it does. If any of you don't remember that special scout rifle in Destiny, I forgot what it was called. The one that gave you a speed boost. It allowed you to run faster. And that one you can have firing like a machine gun. I forgot its name now. But a single fire scout rifle can fire like a machine gun. So this tool is used for cheating a lot. And people spend hundreds on these scripts to be able to buy them and download them and install them onto their Cronus. And so I'm so happy that Battlefield is taking a serious stance to this and just banning people outright. But I think it should go further, and they should have their accounts banned as well. Mida Multi-Tool, that's the one. That would be cool, Devastator. That would be cool. I mean, PC is easier. This is the only tool. Cronus is the only tool really on PC, on consoles that does it. But it is nasty. And you know when you've been, like, for a little while, it was hitting Destiny 2 as well until Destiny did an update and prevented it from happening. The only real way the Ubisoft Massive found to actually stop Cronus being used, and they still found ways around it, was to go through every single weapon and set a hard maximum and a hard minimum, so the weapon physically can't go higher than those values. That also meant that if they ever wanted to update those guns or improve upon them or tweak them, they'd have to go back and undo all those changes. It was a lot of work, and in the end they lost. They just couldn't keep up with the hackers. Woodpit, yeah, COD doesn't surprise me, and it's just a horrible thing. Where's your Walmart tweet? Might as well send it to me because I'm jumping into that topic right now. But yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I'm so happy that, you know, people are waking up to this, because it really did ruin Destiny for me. I mean, not Destiny, the Division. It really did, and it's a massive shame. I mean, Tarnix, that's what I said. Go hack PC. That's where they're all at. That's what they love to do over there. Cheating galore. Shit galore. By the way, Powerboss, someone came into my Twitch stream yesterday and thought I was you, I think. They said, hey, Powerboss, I know you wasn't there yesterday, or if you was, you didn't say anything. But it was a little weird. I didn't think I looked like you. Jamie, that's the hope, man. I forgot what their name was now, though. Nah, I'm talking on Twitch yesterday. I'm talking on Twitch, man. my package has cleared customs. My Atelier Yumiya figurine is on its way. But I'm just looking for that person's name. Where is the name? No, I guess I'm not going to find the name. Oh, Lady Gamer 1980. That's the one. Maybe you know them? I don't know. But a lot of news has come out recently about, you know, Shinobi started posting about a tweet saying that, you know, the Xbox Series X consoles were being, you know, no longer sold in certain stores. And so I've seen Turk go after Shinobi for spreading misinformation. You know what? I got involved once with that guy's tweets. I'm not doing that again. I'm still getting AGN weirdness coming at me. But it turns out all of this was fake news, folks. Because it's just not the case, right? The picture that they were using that was circulating was 2 years old. But as you can see from this one is this Walmart is owned by Power Boss because it's his own personal one. My guy is like super rich and he didn't even tell us, man. Super rich and he's not even telling us. See what I mean, chat? He's been holding out on us like crazy. But you got Nintendo Switch stuff, you got whatever that is. And you got all the Xbox stuff over here, I believe. Yeah, you can see the Series S's and the Series X's over there. So, as you can see, there's lots of stuff. And there's all the Xbox games. Actually, it's a lot more than I thought they'd have. Considering most of it's all digital now. Hey, look. I don't make the rules. You said I went to my personal Walmart. That means that no one else can go into this Walmart except you. This is your own store that you go into on your own whenever you want, where you shop only. Do you know the amount of dollars you have to have in your pocket to be able to do something like that? You need to have a lot of 100 bills in your pocket to be able to do something like this. Ugh. Powerball's been holding out on us, man. Here's a true story, though. So, one of my friends was a friend of a friend, but we got to know each other quite well. One day when the whole concept, you know, the whole notion of land came about in China, his granddad, who lives here in the UK, received a letter saying that he needs to go back to China because they found some land that belonged to his parents, his granddad's parents, and has been passed down to him, and it got lost in the bureaucracy, and they want to give it to him. And so he told his lawyer, whatever it is, I want to give it to my grandson, which is my friend. And so this was years ago, when my friend was still studying in Abbotsford, Dundee in Scotland for video games. So him and his granddad, because they lived together, went back to China. True story, by the way. And so they basically went there and they saw the land, and it was massive. It was absolutely huge. And it had the biggest Chinese superstore slap bang on it. And so he doesn't have to work a single day in his life anymore, because the rent money that comes from there straight to his pocket is enough for him to live for the rest of his life. My guy became pretty much set. I mean, how lucky do you have to be? Okay, no. It's alright, he brought me a souvenir because he made so much money from one trip. But come on, that is some kind of crazy fortune, right? They went there thinking it's going to be some like sheepish land or rundown mill, and then they found the land with the biggest Chinese superstore built on top of it. Pretty much, Susano. And yeah, they came to an agreement, a fair agreement, because they didn't want to take the piss, and the money that they get now, they can live off for the rest of their lives. You know what, Bullets? You're not far off, okay? You're not actually far off. You're not far off. I'll tell you that much. I almost threw it back in his face. Anyway, getting back to this story, now that we've told our little true story, and now that we've finally figured out that, you know, Power Boss is actually a rich mofo, god damn, I went to my personal Walmart. Yeesh. He invested in something. Pulled that from. But yeah, I mean, technically, he did invest in fruit and veg. But you can see that that's not happening, and so you've got people like what's his name, Destin, who rang up Target and Walmart, and they said no, we don't have stock at the moment. We don't have stock of anything at the moment. We're still waiting for the new shipment coming in the middle of October. Microsoft has confirmed that they still have a ongoing partnership with Target and Walmart, as evidenced by this article over here, which we'll jump into in just a sec. But this is the thing that really threw me off, right? And I don't get it, right? So this dude over here, Nicholas Wright.
Hey, just to make sure that you guys know it's me, right? Because a lot of people are saying
I mean, people first said that this was AI, by the way, and then I don't know, I think he re-uploaded a second one or something. I don't know. You see what I mean? I ain't even big enough to even be tagged anymore. Everyone sees me as a pony now. I ain't no pony, man. And make sure you got those PJs tucked away, yeah? Don't need anyone on stream seeing it.
saying Walmart is not selling Xbox consoles no more. I want to show you something. You guys see that right there? You guys see that? That, you know, these same people are saying Xbox is not selling consoles anymore. Walmart is not selling consoles anymore. They're still selling controllers. You see right there, they got the Xbox Series X, the 1 terabyte one. They still selling controllers. They got the controllers. Oh, they got the games right here. Look at that. Oh, you also see Nintendo right here. But they still selling games right here. They still selling physical copies of games. Look at this.
But yeah, and so the response he gets is, I'm going to need you to go to at least 12 more stores to really get some hard evidence. And I'm like, at that point, does it really matter? They could come back with 50 stores and you all will still won't believe it. What's the point? And it's just like, you've got the stores telling you that they're not stopping. You've got Microsoft telling you that their partnership continues. You've got people proving by either going to the store, taking pictures that this is happening, which by and large, I think all of this is overkill, by the way, because none of this should really matter in the first place. But no matter what people do, and this is the part where I think you know, why it takes the piss and why people just shouldn't bother feeding these trolls. No matter how much they actually prove it, it will never be enough. Cesano, Destin did. I did. I think it was Nicola, right? And I'm pretty sure I had that somewhere, and I'm not seeing it, which is why I've been looking for it. But let me see. I know I posted that somewhere. Also, for those of you that don't know, Final Fantasy Dissidia is coming back, baby! A small shout out to that because it's only mobile and not console, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. But Dissidia is coming. Let's see. Before I get onto the AMD stuff, and I asked myself if indeed Xbox is pulling out. I mean, they're pulling out. They better be pulling back in as well. Can't leave them hanging there. I also asked why there are PS and Nintendo games in the Xbox case when Nintendo PS have their own cases. The response was because there is an overstock we can't sell. So rather than listening to discourse, try go looking. I mean, we know that it's not PlayStation. I mean, look at Ghost of Tsushima and Yote, right? 5 years ago, Ghost of Tsushima had a 4.4% sell rate. And now in 2025, it's not gone up by that much. It's gone up by a bit, but not much. Zubitech posted it. But it's just crazy, right? But what about this? What about this? Man, what are you guys doing to these stores? You just go in and picking up anything you can. It's like one of those trolley madness shows where you just chuck everything onto your trolley and run away. And why ain't anyone buying these little things over here? I want one of these. You guys are just mean, man. Just leaving these over here. Man, I still need to get a Pro controller. I just hate the fact that controllers are so expensive. Dudum. A dudum. It's all the same. Yeah, never buy Turtle Beach. I got the 700 series. Goddamn expensive headset. Trash. Absolute trash. But now they won't say a single thing. They won't even talk about it. Have you noticed that ever since xCloud went out of beta, Windows version of COD are showing up in cloud gaming, although when you click on them, it looks like the Xbox version might be a placeholder? I mean, the xCloud version will play the Xbox version. Am I missing something, Seth? Or did you maybe misexplain it? These trolls ponies don't know how retail works. It's weird. I mean, let's be real. The prices of consoles have gone up, so people are going to buy less. But now's not the season really to be buying. That's in like a month or so. And then by Christmas. Ah, Devastator, I wish. I can't eat cake. In fact, I've had salad for dinner for the past 2 days because I almost, well, let's just say on Monday I was, I don't know if anyone noticed on stream, but I wasn't all there because my sugar levels spiked again for no reason. I don't even know why. I was doing so good. On the weekend, my sugar levels were 7 and 8, which is really good for a diabetic. It was well under control. And then I didn't do anything come Monday. And in the morning, it was like tethering near 20. And I was like, yep, something's definitely wrong. I didn't do anything. I didn't eat anything. So, yeah. Cake addict? No, I can't eat cake. I can't even nibble on anything at the moment. I'm on strict orders. I've got the kids watching everything I eat. I've got the missus watching everything I eat. Now, if I'm going to go out, let me go out my own way. That's all I'm going to say. Let me go out in style and doing what I like to do. I did, and I didn't understand why the Xbox version was more expensive. Unless it's on 2 discs. But I don't think it is on 2 discs. But then if it's... See, here's my problem with physical, right? I like Play Anywhere. If a game is Play Anywhere, I'm buying it digitally. But I do like the physical product. Not because I want to use the disc, but I just like it sitting there on my shelf, right? I do. I get it. You guys think I hate physical. That's not it. I got my nice little physical collection over there in the corner. I like it. But if it's Play Anywhere and I buy physical, then I lose my double entitlement. So I'm kind of, hey, are you Play Anywhere? Yeah, I'm buying you digital. If both require a download, then that even defeats the purpose. The stores are doing a reset. I mean, look, there's also the news that went around, right? That, I'm not sure if you read it. There was a LinkedIn article from one of the hardware engineers at Microsoft who turned around and said that, you know, after all the excellent number of years, they're winding down the production of the series consoles. So it's not a secret. They've openly, you know, come out and said this already. And it was in a LinkedIn journal that the guy wrote down in his, as they say, farewell to the Series X and hello to the new console. And they said, we're come to that point in the thing where we're winding down and we are getting ready for the next generation launch. So the fact that you're going to see less consoles out there and less production is normal. They've already openly said this. So why people are getting their knickers in a twist, I don't get it. See, there are a number of things, right, that Xbox has done where I say, you can call them out for. And God only knows, you guys know that I call them out when I need to call them out, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, do whatever. I call them out when I need to call them out. And I think you all know that I'm quite fair with that. Whether it's Sony, Nintendo, or Scumtendo, I call them out. No matter what. But when they do good, I also praise them. Regardless of who it is, whether it's Sony, Microsoft. Yeah, Nintendo never gets a praise. But the problem we have out there today is that if you make a grifting video of Xbox, see, they tried to go after Nintendo. They did. And they saw the viewing numbers just weren't there. They tried the articles, and they saw that people ultimately just didn't care. They tried to do the controversies. They saw that people just didn't care. They tried to do the over-the-top, dramatization of Nintendo bad. No one cared. So what did they go and do? Look for the tiniest thing wrong with Xbox. Everyone cared. For some reason, Xbox just gets the views. Negative news for Xbox does. So the tiniest bit, like if Sarah Bond let out a complete massive fart that took out the whole fucking auditorium, that's going to be mainline news. World War III could be happening, But that far is going to take center stage as breaking news. It doesn't matter what's going on. That will take breaking news. And that really is the state of gaming at the moment. Like, I could turn around tomorrow and make a video and for the first 2 minutes, literally lay into Xbox and title it, I've had enough of Xbox. If I do that as a test, I reckon I will hit around 10,000 views on that video. Do you want me to try it? Just to prove it? Do you want me to try it just to prove my point? And then the Thursday stream or the stream on Tuesday, we can go back and see just how bad it actually is. Because it's crazy. I genuinely believe that's what you need to do. They just don't care. Anyway, no Target and Walmart are not removing Xbox products from their stores as Xbox misinformation reaches the new levels. Look at all those glorious stuff. Digital stuff. Oh. I don't even know why those exist, but, you know, I guess some people don't like using online. A new Xbox rumor started this weekend that's now blown out of proportion. As usual, late into the evening on Saturday, Redditors flocked to the Xbox subreddit as someone claimed their local Target had begun removing the Xbox section from their store. Then various blog sites, this person who done this, they should find him and just fire him. Then various blog sites who seem oddly invested in the concept of Xbox dying ran with headlines based on said anonymous reports. By the way, just a quick thing. Did you know that when you go into these stores like Target, there's actually a sensor that when you walk in, right? And so it counts as, for every person that goes in and comes out, it counts as one person having done a trip to the store. And so via statistics, they actually see what their busiest times are and whatnot. Can you imagine if the foot traffic for this was crazy, how those statistics would have been completely and utterly thrown out the window because this one guy decided to post this on Target? And it would completely and utterly ruin their statistics that they pay a metric ton of money for. Then various blog sites who seem oddly invested in the concept of Xbox dying. And you know what? A part of me, and I'm going to be honest, a part of me one day wants to see this whole Xbox dying. Because when it does, and Sony becomes the monopoly, and then they turn around and go, right, you know that £500 console? Yes, 1,500 now. You know those £70 games? Well, yeah, they're now like £150. You don't have a choice anymore. You see, previously you had a choice with Xbox, and even though there weren't that much of competition, they were still there and an option. But now, we can do what the fuck we like, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then I want to really see what these idiots are actually going to say. What they're actually going to do. Oh, we're going to buy them. Mate, they buy 2 games a goddamn year. It's already been proven that these guys already buy 2 games a year and that's it. The majority of gamers in general buy 2 games a year. Like, what are we talking about here? Bullets, I know. Don't worry, Bob. Sony gives me free games all the time, so I won't be affected by it, so I'm good. They'll still feed me with free games. It's only going to be you that has to pay for it. I haven't got Ghost of Yotei. So I'm good. I'm good. Sony treats me really good. Ran with headlines based on said anonymous reports, likely buoyed by the fact that Costco recently has reduced its Xbox offering, compounding expectations of a wider retail route. From this post spawned a number of stories where other Redditors began sharing that they hadn't seen stock within their local Target or Walmart stores for months. Counter reports came in from various sources like Destin and Sheree. Called my local Walmart to ask if they were discontinuing or pulling Xbox stock. They said, at least to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything about like clearing inventory or anything like that, or about being discontinued. They also said still have them in stock.
Devastator 2000 celebrates 23 months of membership.
I got you, Tarnished. I got you. Hey, thank you, Devastator. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And I can't remember who it was when they called up and they said, yeah, we've run out. We don't have this. We're basically low on stock, but our stock comes in mid-October. We also spoke to a Target employee at our end who also discredited claims of a wider Xbox removal. Even the legendary Xbox alumni Larry Major Nelson chimed in, stating, all I know is I went to a couple of Target and GameStop stores this week and did find Xbox hardware and games for sale. I mean, even Game in the UK, even though they've been resorted to tiny little stores within a store now, within JD Sports, they still have an Xbox section. I even did a little investigative work by going to my local Target during an unrelated errand.
Gorsty celebrates 13 months of membership. I bought 6 full-priced games in August alone.
God damn, Gorsty! Where's my games? Where's my super chats? Where's my donations? No, I'm just kidding, man. Good shit. Good for you, man. How many of them came off the white van, though? I know you say full price, but are they full priced white van edition? Are they full priced back of a van edition? Or are they full priced store edition? Yeah, but which one is it? Which edition of full price is it? Including the van versions, it was 18. Ah, I see. I see. Man with a van strikes again. I even did a little investigative work by going to my local Target during an unrelated errand where I stopped by to check the shelves. See, I think all of this stuff that people are doing, going and calling and all that, is so unnecessary. It's overkill. Like, I couldn't even be bothered, right? I just laughed and said, whatever. Clearly they know what they're doing. And none of this is stopping AAA games coming to Xbox, so who cares? If this was really happening and if it was really that big of a deal, you'd be hearing AAA games getting cancelled. But you're not seeing any major game getting cancelled. You're seeing the small ones going only to PlayStation and Switch because they're not going to sell on the Xbox platform. They're just not, right? People, like 5 people want them, but they're not going to make their money back on those 5 people. And so to those 5 people that want it, I say go buy a Switch or a PlayStation to play those little indie games that they want to play. But all the AAA games, they're not skipping. They are landing. So until we see like a Resident Evil not day and date, or an Assassin's Creed not land a day and date, or a Star Wars game that's, you know, not exclusive, but they're just releasing it and skipping a platform day and date, then I will say fine. Then you will see severe shifts and changes in the way people think. But until that really happens and the major titles are still flowing through day and date, nothing's changed and nothing will do. And so all of this to me was all bollocks anyway. Yep, that's my British coming out. Total bollocks. Sure enough, everything was there except for the consoles themselves. When I checked their website, I noticed that not a single Series X was available, but multiple Xbox Series S consoles were for purchase. But Xbox stock does tend to fluctuate heavily, as Microsoft seems to manufacture them practically to order these days. Well, like I said, they've already announced from some time ago that they are winding down. The Xbox Series X is regularly sold out, as Microsoft seems particularly fearful of creating oversupply situations for whatever reason. Some of that silicon is being used to power Xbox cloud gaming, and I do feel like they still need to improve that. They've got a long way before they hit the levels of GeForce Now and Google Stadia, for example. So they still need to improve that level of performance. However, which is another angle likely at play here, and I agree with that. At least at Walmart we found both consoles in stock, so wait, are they or aren't they getting rid of them? Well, Microsoft has given us a statement noting that Walmart and Target are at large are still committed partners for Xbox hardware. Target and Walmart, among other retailers, remain committed partners for Xbox consoles, accessories, and games. Misinformation is generally being worse than ever thanks to AI, bots, and the like. No, it's just the media and PlayStation fans. That's it. It's the media and PlayStation fans. You don't need to get AI involved in this. AI only reads what the media and the PlayStation bots actually post, and that's it. All AI actually does, it doesn't think for itself. It just, it scrabbles over the internet to find the information and regurgitates what it is. Even the other day, I saw someone with a handheld device and they were playing Kingdom Hearts 2, the PS2 version. And I asked AI, what is this? And it told me what it was. And I said, no, that's not it because it's not a flip. And then they said, oh, you're right. It isn't that. And then it started ... and then it came back with the correct answer. So don't listen to what AI is telling you. AI is only regurgitating what people post. And that's why AI is dangerous, because if one side decides to flood the internet with certain information, AI will say that that information is true because it can't think for itself. It's just regurgitating what's actually there. It's not true AI. It just finds the information. It's basically like a super in-depth search engine, essentially. But Microsoft has earned itself plenty of negativity over this last year, which it has. That's fair. I agree with that. Especially with the, nostalgia. They turned around. I really like what Skeletor did with that, Tom Chrissy, when he said everyone was being nostalgic for the 360, so they upped it to 360. That's good. I like that. I really do. That was funny. Where is all this information coming from, and what will it take to turn the tide? Well, according to Tim Dog, people inside who are way up the food chain said it's impossible to change the tide. According to Tim Dog. Hey, Paris. Rumors always come in threes, so expect another Microsoft statement. What do you think they're going to do, Paris? What rumor is it going to be this time? I mean, apparently the AMD one's just landed, which we're going to be talking about in a sec. But it's I mean, apparently the source is Moore's Law is dead, so that's not really a source to me at all. Twice this year, Microsoft has announced price increases, which is bad across the board for all Xbox branded consoles, largely due to tariffs. Okay, I'm not gonna buy that. The first one could have been for tariffs. The second one was just pure greed. All variations of the Xbox Series console series and S have seen a price jump from their original prices of that respectively. Then to add insult to injury, the Game Pass Ultimate took a 50% hike this past month, which will take effect at the start of November. Since then, Microsoft has been dealing with a tidal wave of claims that Microsoft is exiting the hardware business entirely, much like Sega did at the turn of the millennium. I mean, they've been having this thing for ages. Like, when was the last time they wasn't exiting the industry? Come on. Not again, man. Not again. We don't need another YouTube short. Not another YouTube short with a Godfather theme playing in the background. No, not like this, man. Come on. Paris is own man. Paris does what Paris does. For me, the fact that the price increase included non-US territories makes tariffs less likely. Look at the pricing for the ROG Xbox Ally. I mean, the UK actually had a good price for the ROG Xbox Ally X, right? The Xbox ROG Ally X. It was £800. It maintained the original pricing of the Xbox, well, the Asus Ally X. Asus ROG Ally X, the original. Yeah, no, the price hike for Game Pass was just... We see that there's more value there at the price we're giving it, and we think we can take more money. What they should have done with Game Pass was left it as it is, but they could see Call of Duty is landing next month, and they wanted Call of Duty... You know, the last price hike that happened was when Call of Duty landed. Just before Call of Duty. And we've seen another one again with Call of Duty. The problem is, though, I think they've reached too far, especially in the US, because even if people are willing to pay the $30 now, which I still think they should be going to Loaded or Enaba or something like that to get it for way cheaper. Like, you can get in the UK a whole year's worth for £125. Normal retail value is $275. So you're getting it for like 40% of the cost. So that's still great value, right? If you're going to places like that. I think they should have gone from, in the UK, $14.99 to something like maybe $16.99 or $17.99. And that would have been okay, considering the amount of games we're getting in October and what's coming next year. And then they could have incrementally increased it again. Or they could have foregone this year, and then sometime next year, during a, you know, a busy month, increased it then incrementally. Going up in one big jump like that is crazy. Like, I can't, there's nothing much else I can say about that. But the problem is, for a lot of people, and as you've seen by the statistics, most people, not us gamers, but the, you know, the casuals out there who make up, give or take, 95% of the gaming communities, they buy 2-3 games, max 4 a year. If you outprice those people, they're not going to subscribe. And they've already, in my opinion, hit the absolute limit of what they can. They've already priced people out of it. If they're not buying that many, they wouldn't be buying that many games. And Game Pass's cost is already surplusing what they would normally pay. Keep in mind that they're probably going to play online, so they're going to need the base thing anyway. The base Xbox Live. So that, plus the additional games, if that doesn't eclipse the 1 year Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, then they're just not going to go there. But if it does, then it's going to still be of a little bit of value for them. But the majority will see that $30 limit now as the ceiling. Whereas if they went incrementally, they would have had these people for a lot longer. Maybe, you know, market conditions would have changed. People's jobs would have gotten better. People would have found more time for gaming, or they just would have played more. You know, there's so many variables that can come with time, but they threw all those variables out. They just said, we don't care about that. We're just going to slap that 50% and go all in. And I think that was the wrong move. For the US, $24.99 would have been the right value, or even $23.99, right? It's $19.99 at the moment. Either increase it to $22 or $23.99, and then it goes from $23.99 to $26.99, and then to $29.99. So there you've got 3 years of price jumps, but it's gradual, and you can hope, because we're in a global recession now anyway, right? We haven't gotten out of this global recession for the past, what, 7 years now. So no country is really doing great financially in terms of the recessions. Everyone is feeling the pinch. So for this sort of thing to happen, it just, you know, it's completely asinine. It's, you know, you're just not reading the room at all. Gaming is supposed to be, you know, a hobby, an escape. I know it's getting really expensive for games, but not every game has to cost 400 million to make, right? Ghost of Yotei cost 60 million, and it's a good game. It might not be the best game, but Ghost of Tsushima was 60 million. Astrobot was, what, 50 million? The Oblivion remake was, what, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million? So you can make good games at smaller budgets. They don't have to be these blockbuster hits. Not every game has to be that. But they should have done it gradually to allow people to get back on their feet. I just think that if there is a next price increase, and there probably will be, they are completely going to outprice a lot of people in the US. And here's the other thing. In the UK, right now, it costs 4 games to equal what it costs for Game Pass. In the US, it's 5 games and an indie. You're paying more in the US than we are. Now, the conversion rates might be the same, but you're still having to pay 5 games and the indie worth compared to our 4. So what's worth it for us might not be worth it for you. And that's the thing. You know? That's it's a problem. This is hot on the heels of Microsoft's summer reveal of decade-long hardware partnership with AMD for Xbox's consoles. So we already know that this is happening, right? That partnership there for at least a decade, which is essentially going to be one generation, is going to see through the end of the series consoles and whatever the next generation console is. We may also see the devices like we're seeing now with the Asus Xbox Ally X and so forth, but we'll see what's going to come. Forcing another response, Microsoft chimed in stating that it has no intentions to exit the Xbox console hardware business, and that seeking more information those seeking more information could refer to this. And so Microsoft is not going anywhere, at least for the time being. GeForce Now is like $20 alone, and you have to buy the games. Yeah. Microsoft has always wrestled with its image, and you know, it doesn't help itself. But it has reached new lows as of late. When you combine mass layoffs, I don't care about those. And that's not me sounding insensitive or whatever. I know layoffs is bad, but I'm sorry. You know, this might be something that's completely new to some of you in the gaming community thing. Layoffs happen all the time, man. Layoffs happen everywhere, not just the games industry. They happen everywhere. In the bigger companies, that 1% often means really big layoffs. And in the smaller companies, that 1% really means a small number of layoffs. But it happens. You know, when mergers happen, layoffs happen. I've seen it twice now in where I work, where we've merged with 2 companies. I've been really fortunate not to be jobless. But it happens. So it's normal. So to attack a company for layoffs is mentally ill, stupid, because it's just something that happens. And obviously you're going to see disgruntled employees coming out then, I worked 500 years of my life away for this company. Yeah, those people are realizing now that that company didn't give 2 fucks about them, because no company cares about you. If a company is that big, you are just a number to them, and the sooner people realize this, the better. Hence why I keep saying none of these companies care about you as an individual. They care about what's in your wallet. Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, they cared about the money in your wallet. As long as that's coming out, they love you. And Tim Dog saw this firsthand, right? Microsoft used them like a fiddle, and I've been saying this for years. And the moment they no longer needed to use him, they were done with him, they washed him away. Because he's just a number. He was free PR for them. They used him like a fiddle. And as he said yesterday in Fonz's thing, he's finally realized that. I've been saying this for God knows how long. And I feel sorry for the guy for that fact. But he actually thought Microsoft cared for him. They don't. No one does. None of these corpos do. And people just need to realize that. Hey, okay, JB, I'll take that back. Master Chief does care about me. He's my buddy. We sit down and we have crumpets. And for those of you that aren't in the UK that don't know what a crumpet is, shame on you. You should still know what it is. They are absolutely amazing. Anyway, going back, Microsoft, with layoffs to fund its investments into AI products, only shareholders seem to want aggressive price increases, but while posting record revenues and profits and sprint of unpopular business decisions, Xbox's public image has taken a battering. But guess what? Their share price skyrocketed just by them saying, we're still in these stores. And so their share price has just made even more money. But these rumors that came out that was supposed to hurt their share prices, and it did for a little bit, the rebound that they had means that they actually ended up making more money. Now you kind of understand why they just let bad news falter, because the moment they respond in a positive nature, the rebound is even stronger. So all these people are doing is just making Microsoft richer. They just don't realize it. Microsoft's Xbox, and by the way, I know it means bad for public image and stuff like that. These companies don't give a crap about that. All they care about is seeing what that balance is at the end of the day. And shareholders only care about the dividends that are coming to them at the end of the day. Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass had a stellar year up to the price hikes, and its first-party output has been better than ever. After years of struggling to find its footing, the Xbox Series X and S consoles were also among the best pieces of hardware the firm has ever put out. Again, before the price hikes. Okay, look. The Xbox Series X was great. I love that machine. It looks good. It's small. Bloody heavy as well. The S just should have had more RAM, man. Come on, I'm always going to be on that bandwagon. It should have had more RAM. It needed more RAM. But other than that, it's a great console. All you need is a cursory glance over replies to its social posts to get a sense of how up against Xbox is with its image. It doesn't matter what Xbox does, their image will always remain the same. Period. There's nothing that they can do that will fix this. Even if they reduced Game Pass and they reverted it, it won't change it. Nothing they do will revert Microsoft's image. The only way Xbox can actually fix their image is if they split from Microsoft as a company and become an independent division of their own, a studio platform. If they separate completely from Microsoft, that's the only way I can see them actually fixing their image. And that's never going to happen. You know what? He knows, man. He knows. He knows. He knows. What type of butter you use there, man? Gotta know what type of butter you use. Jesse, it's not about power. The RAM doesn't mean power. RAM just gives you the option to have the same amount of resources available so you can have the same, experience. An example of this is June, where the Series X had enough memory to hold the whole map, and the Series S did not. So the game got I'm not sure if it's officially cancelled or if it's just delayed until they find a solution if they can. But because of the parity clause, June is not coming to Xbox right now. It should have been there ages ago. But because of the memory limitations of the box, it physically can't store the whole map. And so if you remember a game called Anthem, yeah, I know the memes, ignore the memes. But if you look at that map, right? That world map of Anthem was split into 9 pieces. And so they could load each individual part of the map as you got close to it. If they built Dune that way, that would work. Now, if you go back to Forza Horizon 4, right? I think it's 4, one of the ones that my friend worked on. At one point in the map, it's completely off-road, but there's a massive hole there that basically, if you drive through it, your car goes straight through the game world and there's no recovery. You just have to reset your vehicle. And that is still there, right? Because the actual download to fix that was, I think, 100 and something gigabytes. Because the whole of the Forza Horizon 4 map is one big map. It's not split into sections. And so Microsoft decided that instead of getting people to download 170 gig of an update or whatever it was for that big map, they just said, screw it. If people fall through it and they find it, they can just reset and continue again. They didn't want to put people through downloading that big of an update. Bear in mind, this was years ago when the internet wasn't as good as it is today. So what I'm saying is it does depend on how you build the game. But for those that are building it as one live map, it becomes a problem. Yeah, June was pushed back, JB. It was supposed to land a lot sooner. But they can't get it working on the Series S. But Jesse, Microsoft promised parity. And so if they promise parity, the one thing that they should do, they can have a slower processor. They can have a slower graphics card. But the one thing that should remain the same, because none of them have VRAM, is the RAM. The RAM could be slower, but the amount of size they should have left the same. They obviously reduced it to try and hit a certain price point, and so they valued, you know, they went for the price point ahead of everything else, and so they cheaped away in certain areas. But that later on has a consequence. I don't care about the machine running 30 FPS. You get what you pay for. You want a 60 FPS experience, you get the big boy. You want a 30 FPS guaranteed experience, you get this slimmer boy. But the RAM should never have been skimped on, because that is what's thing. I know people were laughing, you know, mocking because the Steam Deck could run Baldur's Gate split screen, even though it was at 11 FPS, right? It could still run it. And the reason why it could run it is because it needs 14 gigabytes of memory. The Steam Deck has 16. And obviously the Series S just can't do that because it doesn't have it. It has 8 gigabytes of usable memory. So if they had the same amount of memory as the Series X, it wouldn't have been, they wouldn't have had half the problems. In fact, a lot of the problems that they had, and all these companies crying about it, probably wouldn't have done that. But the biggest issue has always been the memory. And if Microsoft does release a 2-tiered console again, my hope is that they will have learned from this. This has been a very, very good learning lesson for them. But they just put some plywood over it. Yeah, Jesse, but they did. And so that's where the problem comes in, because they kind of have to do it. Only to my mind, only 2 games have broken that rule, right? Baldur's Gate, and I think there's one more that broke that parity rule, but that's it. Susanna, parity means that feature-wise they have to be the same. Not performance, but feature-wise. So if it features split screen, the other one has to have split screen. If it features all the bells and whistles, this one has to have it even, you know, anything that's in one needs to be in the other. Performance doesn't have to be the same. Continuing, as one of the world's most privileged companies, it deserves similarly powerful scrutiny, but the sheer volume of misinformation and negativity out there risks turning others away from the ecosystem in its entirety, potentially harming customers, employees, and third-party developers alike who rely on Xbox's continued existence. Microsoft needs to do more here. Yeah, I can understand that. They do. They need to do more to stay in the fight. They need Chief. Oh god, he's back. He's back. We'll check that out in a bit. We will check that out. Apparently someone messaged me, but I don't know who. Ah, Brendan, I've seen that. That's at my next thing. Let's put this over here. I just need to use the restroom and I need to get a drink as well, so I'm gonna be right back. Sorry about that, folks. I'm back. Is Oreo doing the stream today? I actually don't know where he is. Effort is over there. It's really weird because he's become super clingy over the past few days. I don't really know why. Oreo's still giving me the middle finger though. Like a boss. Cats are just assholes, man. DCG is face. Alright. As we were saying. Where were we? Yeah, so it's a bit of a thing. But let's check out this video by DCG. Done 2 days ago. He's already crying about the Xbox games off the shelf. Let's see how silly this is. Also, Power. It's called Batcat now. Mate. I didn't show you guys the picture of Batcat, did I? Did I show you guys the picture of Batcat? Let me see if I find him. You said just you spoke to AGN. Batcat. There he is. What do you mean, poor cat? It's Banisher, can't you see it's getting ready to challenge the Templars? It's going to scale the buildings. And then it's going to jump off into a pile of hay. It's going stealth mode already. It's ready. He's there. What do you need a jump? That's just mean. No wonder why. What is wrong with my little? Look at him. His cheeks over here on the side, on either side, mate, it is so fluffy. Like the rest of him is just fine, but the cheeks and the chest is literally just like a puffball. Crazy, absolutely crazy. He's so adorable. His tiny little paws. Anyway, you go from something adorable to something like this. Ah! I don't know. I'm still on two minds if I should react to the video that he sent. It seems more like he sent that to GameStar, not to me. You made a podcast. Yeah, it's a new one, Bags. What do you mean, what did I do to that cat? Do you think he's ever gonna come out? Oh God, are you serious? I have to listen to that front part again. Oh, guys.
Hey there gamers, Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're talking about Xbox because this video is going to be very bad news. In fact, it's basically a Team Green bloodbath, but I wanted to discuss the new leaks that came out last night. Multiple stores from Target and Walmart's, people are actually coming out and saying that they're officially being told to take Xboxes off of store shelves, to just rip.
Something doesn't seem right there, does it? Look around here, right? Look around the mic. I don't think that's his room. I think that's not his room at all. That's just a picture, and this is all part of the green screen. Because you can see it. It's a Mediterranean thing, Bags. I do it all the time. Do you know how many times I have to restrict myself from doing it because it makes me look silly? But it's a Mediterranean thing at this point. But can you see the hard rift edges here? That's because the green screen is trying to keep the black in. You can see it's a lot more solid here because of the whites. I don't even think that's his background. He's just using a fake background. Might be cool, but fake.
The store shelves to just rip it apart, the entire Xbox section, the consoles, the controllers, those digital pre-order cards, and of course the games themselves. They're being told officially from corporate, throw it in the garbage. And there are even some leaked pics of these essentially dismantled sections. And I wanted to talk about this.
So what he's done, he recorded this on a black screen, right? He recorded this on a black screen and then used key matting to remove the black from the black screen or green screen, whatever it was, and then put the background. So this could be his background, but these two aren't being recorded at the same time. And it's actually really off-putting. It's actually giving me some weird vertigo because I can see that they're not part of the same image. It's been chroma keyed in, yeah. Or Luna keyed in. Oh, not Luna, Ultra keyed in. We need a backcat emoji. You know what? Let me have a... After this video, I will check how many we need. How many memberships we need before we can get there. Because unfortunately, you need to get you need to hit certain membership milestones. So we'll have a look at that. But yeah, I wonder if he's going to actually follow this up with a video saying I was wrong and all of the rumors were not correct.
And take a look at it, because I have to admit that even though on this channel we've covered a lot of the Xbox blunders, their price increases, how much they've messed up Game Pass, their studio closures, it is still weird to just see the true death of Xbox. I mean, if this stuff is legit, I truly cannot imagine there's actually a next gen. I mean, Microsoft currently...
You know, at least he said that if this stuff is legit. So I'll give him a little leeway there. He said if it's legit. So he's not saying it is legit. He's saying if it's legit.
Claiming, we're excited about the future of Xbox, but at this point, I think those are Phil Spencer lies. Until I see a console, I just truly think this is the end of the end. But let's take a look at the evidence. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please...
See, the one thing is right now that I hear a lot of people saying is they will believe it when they see it. And I can get that to a certain degree because Microsoft has fucked around people a lot. But you're a PlayStation channel. Why is it 99% of your videos are Xbox?
Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, what initially sort of kicked this off is a series of posts over on the gaming.
Gaming. Mark Cerny already said it's a few years out at the earliest in that video with AMD. A year out is 1 year. A couple years is 2. A few is 3. 25 plus 3 is 28. It's not coming in 27. Cerny literally told them it's coming no earlier than 2028. And they're still saying 2027.
Reddit over here, and people started to say, hey, I work at Target and we are no longer going to be selling these Xbox games. At my store in particular, they're being told, discount it, put it on clearance. But at this point, it's just got to go. There's only going to be 2 sections going forward, a locked case for PlayStation games and a locked case for Nintendo games. And that's it.
I can see the announcement.
People actually chiming in. The Walmart I work at is also getting rid of Xbox games. We're doing a remodel, and for the new layout, there is no Xbox section. PlayStation is condensed to 1 lock case, and at this point, I can count on one hand the number of times in the last year I've actually sold an Xbox game. And to me, this is the biggest signifier. A lot of people, even right now, people are posting the fact that it's just, at this point, if you actually go to these stores, there's just no Xbox presence. People are even chiming in here over on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit. People are saying, it's so strange. At my local Best Buy, Nintendo and PlayStation each have an entire aisle, whereas Xbox is a crammed, tiny spot. People are saying, look at this. Now that you mention it, at my local Target, my local Walmarts and stuff, they're just gone. Now, people are pointing out, in the UK, this has actually been going for a while, which is that multiple big distributors, they're just pulling out. At this point, a lot of stores, there is very little store space. There's just only so many shelves.
Okay, that's actually a lie. Game in the UK lost almost all its shops, right? They've had to merge with sports shops like JD Sports, which sells trainers, tracks, but basically clothes and trainer shops. And they are right at the back of the store where no one really knows where they are. Like, I went into one store thinking I'm going to ask the dumbest question in the world. Is there actually a game store here? And they said, yes, it's right at the back. And you go all Sports Direct and you go all the way to the back and you find a tiny little, like, it's one desk and just like a tiny wall around. It's not the same thing that they had like 5 years ago. Game completely and utterly screwed themselves over with their pricings. So yes, they still do have Xbox games, because the last one I went to not that long ago had Xbox games there. But, you know, Game in itself, using that as an example, is bad. And honestly, I don't think there's many other stores in the UK outside of Game that actually sell anything anymore, because everyone buys digital here. Or they order from online. It's a few shelves, right? But there's still some there. But at the end of the day, most people buy online. Like, I go to Shop2 to buy all my games generally. Or I go to Amazon. I don't go to Game. I get better deals at Amazon and Shop2 than I do at Game. Which is hard to believe, but... And then, like, when I want to buy games through Game online, they charge me £5 shipping per game. Like, they were doing this offer, 2 games for £20 on, like, older games. And I said, all right, cool. So I found, like, 4 games I wanted to buy, and then I went to checkout, and it was like, yeah, it's £40 plus £20 shipping. And I was like, yeah, forget it. I'm not buying it. You know?
So much product, so much actual eye you can catch from a person trying to buy a game. If it's not profitable, they're not going to shock it. They're not going to put something on the store shelves that won't sell, that won't make them money. And honestly, with how much they're increasing the price of the Xbox and even stuff like the Xbox accessories, nobody's going to buy an Xbox. At this point, it's just not worth it for them to even stock something that is just making them $0. In fact, this is the official actual...
You know what? People think Bullets is joking. He's not. You buy a £5 gift card, it's £5 shipping. they are power boss. They're all, everything has been reduced because people aren't buying them as much anymore. Look, our generation, you and me, and you know, the ones watching this show, we come from the generation where we loved gaming and we loved our physicals and we loved going and queuing up at midnight. Well, some of you might remember that. I'll actually post a video of a queue up. I did it a few times. It was the scariest thing of my life. I absolutely hated it. The amount of people getting mugged out there was crazy. But the atmosphere was electrifying. You don't get that anymore. You know, the way we used to game in the old days isn't the same anymore. You know, I remember people bringing their Xboxes around. Yeah, the OG one where you had to pretty much pull a recovery service to carry it for you because it was so heavy. The one that actually had in the manual that if this box drops on you, it could cause a fatality. That box. We used to bring them round and have LAN Halo games, man, before someone figured out a way to do it online. Those days were golden. And people look back and say, oh, the rubbish. But it was different. Gaming has changed so much. And nowadays, all kids want are PCs. They want their Roblox. They want their Minecraft. They're crazy. They don't want story-based games. They want multiplayer games to play with their friends. They don't want single-player games. They just want PC games, and they want these indie games like Repo and shit like that. Right? What was that other game called that was around for quite a bit? Something Company, Lethal Company. They love those games. They mod in crazy sounds and whatnot, and off they go.
Response made by Costco. Costco has now officially said we'll no longer be carrying any Xbox anything, saying this is a business decision. Xbox has even been removed from the Xbox site.
It was crazy, right,
the
Tickle?
Xbox section of Costco.com.
It's
just gone. Now, people are kind of wondering why. What happened specifically that got to the point where from the biggest of the big.
So that picture there is from 2023. And so this is why Turk was saying, right, that it's misinformation. Because the images that they're showing is from 2023, not now. This was from, you know, quite a while ago. Well, the difference between that Power Boss, and this is the difference between digital and even the game key cards, right? If you buy, say, Shinobi digitally, as you just mentioned Shinobi, that's the first game that came to my mind. You buy it off Steam. Can you sell it to your friend or trade in or whatever? Can you borrow it to your friend without you having to add them to your family plan? Can you give it? Can you go to a store and sell it? You can't. But with a game key card, you can play it, even if the game isn't on there. And once you're done with it, you can go to the store and trade it in and get something else in return, and you'll get good money for that as well. That's the difference between the two, and that is why game key cards, as shit as they are, have way more value than a Steam ownership. Tariffs are bollocks, Navy. That was the first time round. The second time was just pure greed.
How did this get so bad, seemingly so fast? Because I feel like people that are less plugged in are probably still, in a way, remembering the glory days of the Xbox 360. You know, in the...
And that's why the price went up to $360. So then make sure you'll never forget the days of those glorious Xbox 360 days. Now you can say that you're a proud owner of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $360. You're living that nostalgia $1 at a time every single day.
25 years almost. I think we're at 24 years of the Xbox consoles existing. And at one point, they were the default. There was a time during, generations back that Xbox had all the exclusives, all the awards, all the big graphics, all the cool tournaments, all of everything was actually done for Xbox on Xbox. And I feel like that heyday, the demise has been slower than people imagine. I think that some people just have not noticed all the constant mistakes, from the layoffs to the canceled games to the absolutely dead hype. This has been death by 1,000.
I mean, what game has had hype? Seriously, like, think back. I wasn't hyped for Ghost of Tsushima. When I first saw the trailer, I was excited, but then they started talking about, like, dreams and stuff like that, and they kind of changed the formula to open world, and I lost all hype for it, for Ghost of Yotei. But what game have you truly been hyped for? Indiana Jones, I was hyped. I was so hyped, I broke my rule of early access. Starfield was the only other one that I broke my early access rule. But what other games have you guys truly been hyped for? Like, I feel like the excitement for video game has really gone down. Susanna, they could release Monster Hunter Lego Edition and you would be hyped. Tell me a game that's not Monster Hunter that you've been hyped about. Ghosty, I know you're trying to hang in there for Devin because he bought 3 copies and you're really trying to represent, but not like this, man. Not like this. Virtua Fighter, I want to play it, but I don't have that hype for it. Even for Ninja Gaiden, it looks good, but it's not wowing me. Code Vein looks alright. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just getting older now and I don't get that excited for video games. But I'm not seeing anything that's really, truly magical that instantly says, oh my god, I have to. Actually, the last game that I was truly hyped for, that I said I had to buy day one, I don't give a crap if it was early access, I'm buying the main, the biggest expensive version that you can get for it. I even bought the limited runs edition of it. Let me see if you guys all recognize it. Let me see if you'll recognize. I paid a lot of money for this. You recognize it? Hey, 4C1. I appreciate it. That went crazy, man. Anyone recognize this? It is not a Game of the Year trophy. It is not a bong. Alan Wake 2, Collector's Edition. That was probably... Alan Wake 2, Collector's Edition. I had to buy that day one, man. There was no ifs or buts. I was super excited for that, and that game did not disappoint. Yeah, it's the torch he uses to turn the lights off, absorb the light and remove the light. It even lights up. It's a really cool collector's edition. Hey, Force. What can I say? It's Tuesday. I think the next, if they announce, for me personally, a game that you would see like a completely different side of me would be something like Nier Automata 2. I would go absolutely fucking crazy. If that was announced, I would go mental. Absolutely mental. But I want that level of excitement for video games. And it's so hard today to find games that make you that excited, at least for me. For me, a lot of games just feel generic, and that's why I kind of like RPGs. I'm starting to lean more towards RPGs because they just tell a better story. Not all of them. Some of them have really crap stories and they're really bad games. But there's some really great ones out there. Even going all the way back to the PS1 days. And those are the true gems, man. I just want a really good story I can sink my teeth into. The story is so important these days. But what we've got recently is just crap story, mediocre gameplay, and over-the-top looking graphics. I would rather they toned down the graphics, gave me an amazing story, and a good gameplay mechanic. And that would be so much better for me, personally. And Bags obviously wants his gacha games because he needs his waifus. Anyway, getting back to the video.
Cuts. There hasn't been one singular big mistake, but at this point, it's wild to watch that Xbox has gone from this to now literally being the Xbox section just being where they put the movies. Everybody is now showing, look at my Walmart, they've just been using it as overflow for the...
You notice how they don't actually show the left side of this? You can see that there's probably Xbox games to the left. They purposefully took this in perfect just square here so they won't show anything else. I mean, you can see the Xbox games down there. Isn't that the Xbox games down there? Yeah, you can clearly see them. You can clearly see them over here. They're clearly on this side over here, but they're being you know, all of this is fake. Fake. It's all fake. Just like how, you know, Bags doesn't like gacha. My dude lives for that shit.
Overflow for the Nintendo Switch 2.
And Anta looks really good.
Now, why is this? Why specifically is this happening? Why are Walmart and Target, companies that typically have so much selection, so much variety, why are they pulling out? Honestly, I think it comes down to profitability from the Xbox standpoint, which is that in order to put out a physical system, it costs tens of billions of dollars. In order to produce...
How much do you think he ripped off his girlfriend to get that system? Just putting it out there.
Like in this case, a Nintendo Switch Lite, or even if the Xbox consoles themselves, it costs tens of billions of dollars, because it's not just the research and development to design this, to make the chips, to make the prototypes. It's, all right, we need to physically build the factories. We have to hire the employees. We have to automate all this. We have to ship these out. We need truck drivers. And then at the very end of the day, you have to sell that on a store for the biggest price possible for your good markup. That way, the store that's taking a cut, everybody gets a piece of the pie. Now, it's actually a marvel how cheap some of this stuff is. Like, it is wild the fact that I bought this Nintendo Switch Lite. I bought this for $100, and it came with a year of the Nintendo Online stuff, right? This being so cheap is a testament to its profitability. Because what makes money isn't the system itself, it's people buying the games on the shop. It's buying games that you actually enjoy, right? And at this point, since nobody's buying Xbox games, since Game Pass has completely tainted the audience to train them not to buy stuff, there's just absolutely no points. Like, you could say, oh, physical sales of Nintendo games are down. That is correct, especially third party. You could say, oh, PlayStation sales are down as well. That is also true. But I just feel like nothing can really compare to the fact that the Xbox market has utterly collapsed. These are worldwide sales for the month of August 2025. Every country in the entire...
See, I think this is often misleading, right? And one thing I will continuously say is that Microsoft has zero presence in Japan. That's just evident. They haven't tried. They did a little bit with a 360, and then they just said, you know what, we can't be bothered. We don't want to penetrate that market. We don't want to try, and we're just not going to give a shit. And that's evident by the amount of hardware they sell in Japan. But if you took Japan out, the figures aren't that bad. Obviously now they are bad, but previously for the past few years they've not been that bad. But Japan has been the one that's really carrying most of these countries through, as you can see, especially with the Nintendo Switch. It makes the world of difference. This time last year and the year before, Japan was a massive seller for PlayStation and for Nintendo, but for Xbox it was always a thing. So it was always 2 regions versus 3 in that race, because Microsoft just didn't care.
Entire world. You can see the Nintendo Switch so 1.1 million units. You can see the PS5 sold a little under 900,000. Nintendo Switch 1 even actually sold double the amount of the Xbox Series S. Last gen is
true story. Apparently in Japan, if you're single, you have to pay more tax, and if you actually get married, you pay less tax. Combined, you pay less tax than someone who is single paying it on their own. The government is trying to incentivize people to get hitched up because of the low birth rates.
Selling double the amount of the Xbox worldwide. We're truly talking about the fact that this is an epic collapse. I mean, this is a pathetic implosion. So I'm going to tell you a short story. Yesterday, I was at a pool party. Man, I'm out there. It's still sunny. It's still hot here. Obviously, it's autumn, but here we call it hotum in Texas because it never really gets fully cooled off.
I'm sorry, guys.
I was talking to a guy.
I am really, really sorry. You can blame Devastator for that one. He is the one that pretty much has now giving. He's the one that needs to foot your therapy bills, not me. That is not on me. That is on Devastator, 100%. He's the one that sent me this video. I did not take any responsibility for that. None at all. Not one bit. Devastator's your guy. You go find him. Nope, you go to Devastator for that refund. No, don't blame Chaos Lands. You sent this video to me. Don't try and twist this to me, buddy.
A new dude, and he was really, really nice at the party, and he basically was talking about the fact that he's a dude who's pretty dang broke, and he really wanted an Xbox Series X. A couple of his friends, his girlfriend, and his parents actually pulled together money and bought him an Xbox Series X at launch. He was specifically excited for Halo Infinite and Starfield and stuff, so he was super excited about next gen, right? Whatever Bethesda was working on at the time, he was like, all right, hell yeah, I'm ready for the Xbox generation. And he basically said, for the last 4.5 years, he has been that person that has been very proudly pro Xbox, because he straight up said, I'm broke. Paying a small subscription fee to me was awesome. I would actually tell everybody, oh, you can't afford all these $70 games. I can't afford these $70 games. But if you want to play what's next and great, you pay $12 a month to Xbox Game Pass. And he said he loved that. He loved the idea that, hey, I got excited for every Xbox trailer, every Xbox announcement, because those already felt like my games. But as the price went up, he got priced out. He's saying straight up, I cannot afford $30 a month. I might as well buy those games. And he says,
so he can't afford $30 a month, but he's going to buy 10 games a year, right? Yep. That makes more sense. That makes way more sense, folks. He can't afford $360 or going to Loaded or anybody like that to buy it from there for like half the price. You know, like $200. But he can totally afford $700 to buy those games. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Now he's decided to sell his Xbox, and he's trying to figure out if he's going to go Nintendo Switch or if he's going to try and slowly build a low budget, cool PC to start gaming on. At this point, Xbox, even to the most diehard fans, they feel abandoned.
And do you know what? Here's the thing, right? That friend of his that's going to build a low budget PC for £1,000 because he's broke is still going to go and buy that Halo remake for $70, and he's still going to go and buy Gears E-Day for $70. He's still going to go and buy Elder Scrolls 6 for $70 or $80, whatever it's going to cost. And he's still giving his money to Microsoft. So does he actually think Microsoft cares? Like, where is this story going? Microsoft has him by the balls and this is what I said in my video, which seemed to have pissed off some people. Microsoft doesn't care if you leave because they know you're going to buy their games wherever you go, and they're going to make money off you. That might sound harsh and complete and utter crap, but it's the truth, and the truth often hurts. But if you're hearing this in this chat, please don't be the person to send me another 100 hate mails in DM. I really don't want to have to close my ex DMs. I've already had 2 people do that. One from Boomstream, one from here. Let's not do it. Or you can go PC Game Pass. Until that prices them out too.
And I'll be honest, that kind of betrayal doesn't snap back. I'll be honest.
What betrayal? Hey, these guys act like these companies owe us something. I mean, they owe us games, sure, and they're delivering on the games, so if you don't like the service, go buy your games. You know what, Kabini? I'm happy you mentioned lossless scaling. And that app will probably be too expensive for his friend, though. But that aside, considering his friend is broke, that's a great app. Lossless scaling is amazing. It is really, really good. Honestly, at times, I think that thing works better than DLSS and FSR.
I do feel like, especially in the age of the internet, and even more so when it comes to gamers, once you screw them over, they will never return. I do feel like, more than anything else, gamers are good about feeling spin. They can feel, oh, you're trying to frame it in this direction. Oh, this is crappy corpo speak. Gamers can smell BS, and if they feel like you're lying to them, or trying to screw them over, or just using their hype against them, they will turn against you in a second. Gamers can smell the blood in the water, and at this point, not only is Xbox dead for a majority of the time, I feel like Xbox, they're in the water, they're already bit, and the sharks are coming, baby. Getting pulled at a Target, getting pulled at a Walmart, this is catastrophic.
Okay, now he's gone from, if it's true, now he's saying it's definitely happening. What a loser.
While Xbox keeps claiming there will be a next gen, I seriously do not believe them at all. I don't care how much they talk about it. Until I see an Xbox, you cannot claim to me they're planning on selling the next gen purely online. Only from...
He did. He's probably looking at ways to rip his girlfriend off, or now wife, off again.
Xbox Fetch. You cannot tell me it. I do not believe you. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about, honestly, Xboxes being removed from stores? This to me seems bleak and bizarre. But these are just...
What can I say? Did they update lossless scaling? I haven't used it in a long time. I tried to use it on Avowed, but I didn't see any benefit from it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it doesn't work with Game Pass and it only works with Steam. Not sure. But I didn't see any benefits from lossless scaling. Or I'm just using it wrong. I saw great advantages on Steam. I just didn't really see anything on Avowed, and that's the only game I tried it on PC. But look, all I'm saying is this. Game Pass was cheap. It was for the brokies, and it was for Broke Pass. Now it's premium. It's bad. So which is it? Is it Broke Pass or Premium Pass? But whichever way you look at it, when it was cheap, it was bad. When it's expensive, it's bad. So where's the okay line here? Jesus Louise, man. Oh. What about this? Right on cue, they're already lying about Asus ROG Xbox Ally and the marketing. They've moved the calendar forward. These PlayStation fanboys are getting too predictable. This is from VGF Fight School. The whole month for October. Okay, so let's go. Oh, Steve, welcome to the stream. Oh, I still had beauty little Oreo. Let's have a look. Meow. How to get to? But yeah, this is ridiculous, right? I don't know if this is something that VGF made up or if this is something that they found. I'm hoping it's something that he made up. Can you imagine if this was actually something that a PlayStation fan wrote up and they wrote this in the stables to be able to, you know, to act on these days like this? Reportedly removed. Okay, so this is Xbox fans believe console's future is uncertain as new reports claim that major retailers are no longer stocking consoles or even games for the platform. Xbox is one of the big three platforms in the gaming industry and was once a strong leader during the 360 era. That's why they've decided to double down on that nostalgia by increasing the price to $360. However, the Xbox One era had a rocky launch due to bad messaging during its reveal, the Kinect, an emphasis on always online, Kinect, television, and more, all strayed away from gamers were looking for at the time. How long is this article? Not too long. Things somewhat recovered later in the generation, thanks to innovative new ideas like Game Pass, but unfortunately, that may be part of the reason why things are now on shaky ground. Xbox has been driving a lot of value towards its players, but it isn't resulting in the growth that Microsoft seems to want. When paired with price increases on Xbox consoles, it's even more difficult to attract new players. Ultimately, this year has been rough for Xbox when it comes to any kind of stability. There have been multiple console price hikes. A failed attempt to raise games to $80. That wasn't a failed attempt. The game $80 was just to entice people to go to Game Pass. And a 50% markup on Game Pass Ultimate. It's not great, and it seems like things aren't getting much better. And for anyone that didn't realize that, that's why that $80 was there. Really, Kabini? Yeah, send over. I'll have a look. Nah, the $80 was just to get people onto Game Pass. That was the whole purpose of it. Microsoft has denied that Target and Walmart have stopped selling Xbox products. Target, Walmart, among other retailers, remain committed partners for console, games, accessories, and Microsoft. Oh yeah, we've covered this already. This statement in Windows Central. But what about this? Insiders are saying that Xbox won't be at Summer Games Fest 2026 because Microsoft will shut down the Xbox division just before. Probably. Trust me, bro. Reddit. Oh. Jeez Louise. Let's see. What do you think? Is it the truth or is it just PR damage control using their slave Jez? PR damage control and Jez go together like peanut butter and jelly. Here's the thing though, right? People often criticize Jez Corden. And that guy has been wrong multiple times. Let's make no mistake. He has been wrong multiple times. There's no denying that, right? That he has been. But he has been right more times than he has been wrong. And sure, he does, you know, put his foot in it at times with his silly quirk, you know, tweets that he makes where he's clearly baiting people. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be 100% right. I just don't understand, even if you have a modicum of integrity, not even as a journalist, but as a consumer, you'd have to just take anything this company tells you with a mountain of salt, given just how often they have outright lied or misled you. But what have they actually lied about? I don't understand. People keep saying that they've lied, and I'm still, you know, they're saying the 4 games, but Phil also said with the 4 games, which none of us wanted to listen to, we will assess how they do, and if they do well, more will go. But for the time being, it's just these 4, don't expect more. But that part where he said, we will assess how they will do, and then decide a business on how we will approach it, that tells you that if they did well, which they did, more will follow, because they like money. They also said that legacy titles from ZeniMax will be day and date in other places as well. They openly said this years ago, and they said, you know, where these games will exist, Game Pass will exist, but they did say legacy titles will go everywhere. So that means games like Doom and Elder Scrolls will be day and date in other places. That's based on what he said. So that's not a lie. So what are they actually, you know, I know there's some stuff that have changed due to business decisions, sure. But business is fluid, it's not static. You say one thing, it can change. They're not signing a contract. Yeah, but those would fall under the legacy titles, right? And so if Microsoft releases, when Microsoft releases their, not if, but when Microsoft releases their next console, is Sneaker SO going to take back what he said about all this damage control and all this mocking of Jez Corden? He's not going to do that. He's just going to be a little pussy that runs around. I mean, the fact that he's posting like this shows that he has less of an integrity than anyone else. Right? I blame Cole Eastwood for telling me to buy an Xbox. I won't perpetuate. It's just dumb, right? It's just absolutely dumb. There's just no 2 ways about it. It's just absolutely dumb as shit. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't need to make any sense. Like, what are they hoping to achieve out of that? And then you have this. The content creator says that according to their internal AMD sources, the professional perception is that Microsoft's engineers are viewed as the people that didn't get hired by Nvidia. One stunning unfiltered quote reported, heard by the Post, claimed that when asked for their opinions of Microsoft engineers, one individual at AMD responded, "Oh, I wasn't aware Microsoft had engineers." Do you think anyone at AMD is going to be dumb enough to make a statement like that with one of their biggest partners? Do you know how quick people will be fired for making statements like that against a $4 trillion company? So I said, what's the source? Moore's Law is dead. That ain't a source, man. And as someone said here, Moore's Law is dead has sources, but he absolutely hates Xbox with a passion. The framing of all of his Xbox leaks are tainted by that. Like, come on. Moore's Law is dead. You guys are gonna listen to that guy? But this is the next rumor mill that's going to be going around, by the way. Moore's Law is dead, coming out with bullshit information again. I swear that guy just wants to... And even Kepler L2, right? He decided to come out with BS lies as well, just to become relevant again. To be fair, Kabini, that's not really a leak. Because Jim Ryan fucking said that they have a good relationship and a year's, you know, they've still got ongoing relationships and contracts with Rockstar. That tells you that that's probably going to be the case, right? Jim Ryan already told people that they have, you know, an ongoing relationship with them. Not a good relationship, ongoing. That means a contract that spans future games. So the possibility of GTA 6 being, you know, having marketing rights for PlayStation is there. Everyone knows this. It was spoken about clearly in the FTC trial. That's not a leak. And for them to try and use that as a leak or as a gotcha, man, my grandma knew about that and she's dead. May she rest in peace. And if the dead know about it, whatever, man. It just sounds silly. It just sounds silly. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long this individual that they spoke to. Devs always talk. But they talk within their circle. Exactly, Bullets. There's so much there to indicate that GTA 6 is going to have a marketing deal with PlayStation. It's just a thing, right? And so Marlon coming out, oh, they're going to be bundled. But of course, why wouldn't there be? Why would there not be? If you have the marketing rights. Nicola made a mistake going after Asmongold. That was a mistake. You don't go after someone that big. You gotta know your place. That's not what I was saying, Jesse. I mean, leak is one thing, and we're talking officially shown. I did. And I'm not getting involved with Asmongold. That guy can absolutely destroy careers and destroy channels. I am not fucking around with Asmongold. I know that the first leak came from one of the developers' kids, right? And then it was dropped, yeah, it was dropped shortly after because of the leak. So that was the first trailer, but the next big trailer that came out with like gameplay and whatever, if it was gameplay, that was powered on PlayStation. They really should have done it on the Series S though. That's my opinion. It should have been done on the Series S. They should have showed off that glorious power. Jeff Keighley just DM'd you. Hey, look, man. Gameplay is gameplay, right? They have to start marketing no later than Jan. Jesse, that game's getting delayed. I can't see GTA releasing when they said it. I think they said in May, right? I can't see them releasing it in May. That's getting delayed. I mean, the official date that they said was May, but I can see it being September. It's anywhere between September, October, and November. Yeah, they have one more delay in them, in my opinion, to get before they release it. Where does Fable, Gears, and Halo's at the end of the year? I don't know. I mean, there's rumors that Fable could be pushed to 2027 at the moment. Apparently, I mean, we'll see what it looks like in January. But there's rumors that it could be pushed to 2027. Gears E-Day will probably be September, I guess. Alongside Starfield update, if it's coming at that point. Yeah, dates can be missed, Jesse. Yeah, with the way development has been so volatile, I don't know, man. It could be anything. Yeah, this is Clockwork, I think, or is this Outer Worlds? They have similar art styles. But chat, I think we've reached everything that I've wanted to, you know, that's all I had planned for the show today. I did sound a little bit light, but we had some good discussions. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about or chime in about? Anything that they want to send me to look at and we can discuss, or we leave that stuff for Thursday? 3 years, Heatwave. You can stack it up to 3 years. You sent me 2 quick tweets. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at those 2 quick tweets. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Right, there's that one. That one has already been debunked because I debunked it. And can I actually view Zubitech? Alright, let's see. So we've got this one over here. Breaking news, Xbox Series X and S to stop production due to poor sales. That's incorrect. There's already, I think someone tagged me on this. I think it might have been gaming. Yeah, and I even said here. There's a LinkedIn article, and we spoke about this earlier today, that they were announcing the winding down of consoles as they prepare for the launch of the new one. So that's already been debunked, and that's just fake news. And AMD insiders say Microsoft engineers expect them to do all the work. That kind of goes hand in hand with what Nicola was saying. Both Microsoft and Sony have signed long-term deals with AMD to design chips for their upcoming consoles, but insider reports say AMD's engineers harbor deeply negative sentiments for Microsoft's team in particular. In a new video updated to their YouTube channel, Moore's Law is Dead goes into... Oh, see? Moore's Law is dead, so it's bollocks. Anything that comes from that guy is bollocks. I don't trust a single thing that comes from that guy. I know you can't see what you see. Can I show Zuby's tweet? Yeah, sorry. I thought I was showing it, to be fair, but I wasn't. So yeah, anything that comes from that guy is basically bollocks. But yeah, AMD Insider says Microsoft engineer, yeah, in a new video by, they're all looking at Moore's Law is Dead. But there's no credible source for this. It's just Moore's Law is Dead. That is where all the source comes from, and to me, that's just not good enough. So it's crap as well. And as I said with this one, we already debunked this one earlier in the stream when I talked about Microsoft's hardware engineer in their LinkedIn profile, like blog, where they were talking about the whole journey of the series consoles and how they were, you know, winding down in preparation for the new hardware that's coming. We can do that on Thursday, Brick, and we can check them out as long as they're relevant to what we're doing. Nintendo would not tolerate this. Of course they would. But yeah, send me some, if you got some stuff for me to check out. There's a section in my Discord that you can go to. It is called, let me just double check, something considerations for discussions for streaming or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Stream talking points. It's under YouTube events, reacts. Feel free to post in there anything you'd like to talk about on Thursday, and we'll add that to the list. But folks, I am going to call it a night there. We can check out Josh's vid on Thursday. I need to go and sort some stuff out. It's 11 o'clock, so I would like to get that done before it's too late. But thank you so much for everyone hanging out tonight. It's been great, and I hope you have a good evening. Right, folks, peace out, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend. What am I playing tomorrow? I'm going to finish the story for Wuthering Waves. So that's what's on plan for tomorrow over at Twitch. Peace out, folks. Have a good night.